Saturday is my favorite day of annual conference because it is a day when I get to watch with all of my brothers and sisters in this conference as we pass on a mantle of leadership from one generation of leaders to the next. As a teacher, I know how important it is to have our students feel confident that they are ready to go and to serve in new leadership roles. Watching all of this and seeing these young, confident faces who will be our new pastors, it reminds me of an experience I had back last March. I was standing in a classroom in Ludhiana, India, watching as a teacher lectured from a PowerPoint about how to talk to families during a tragedy. And a room full of students were sitting at desks and at tables, furiously taking notes. And I wondered, is this really preparing them for the jobs that they are going to have to do to become tomorrow's doctors in India? Later on that day, we were with a team of community nurses who were about to go out into a rural community and go knocking door to door to take measurements of the children's weight, to ask the women how their health is, to speak with the men about how their health is. And our team asked some of these students, do you feel like you are confident in doing this job? And the students said, yes. They had no doubt that their teachers, their mentors, their leaders had trained them, and they were ready to go out into the world and serve people who otherwise would have no access to health care, who could not afford it, and who could not get to a hospital if they had wanted to. This story at the Ludhiana Christian Medical School and Hospital in Ludhiana, India, happened a long time ago. Over 100 years ago, it began with a woman named Edith Brown, who was an extravagantly generous young woman. You see, her first love was not to be a doctor, but her first love was mathematics. But she felt like God was calling her to give up that passion and instead pursue a life of science so that she could become a doctor and go to India, where she had heard that women were not being treated for their illnesses because at the time there were no female doctors to treat them. Through her leadership and her time spent in Ludhiana, she established this new college and hospital. But it wasn't very long before she realized that she needed a way to train the nationals of India so that they could continue her ministry long after she had left them. So over 100 years later, this CMC institution is a beloved place in Ludhiana and is known as a landmark throughout the town, and has a reputation for providing the healing touch of Jesus Christ to any who wish to come. No one is turned away because of who they are or how much money is in their pockets. Today, over 1,200 students study different fields of nursing, medical, dentistry, physical therapy, and allied health services. And along with their academic training, they also are fed spiritually by chaplains and mentors there who know that you cannot serve people's physical illnesses unless you also tend to their spiritual needs. And so these students learn both their medical professions as well as the teachings of Jesus Christ. I'm not a Bible expert, but I've realized that you only need to read the gospel once to understand that Jesus loved to heal people, and he loved to teach. And I believe that this institution, the Ludhiana Christian Medical School and Hospital, does both of these very, very well. They truly are the hands and feet of Jesus Christ. And so as we prepare our hearts for our offering this evening, I invite you to decide to become a part of this healing ministry and understand that you are passing on the leadership of health professionals at the same time that we are passing on the leadership of our churches to our new ordinands. Won't you give generously tonight to this offering?